The Oklahoma City Thunder are among favorites to land one of the most coveted power forwards that could potentially be on the trade market this offseason, as they know one of their needs for the next season is adding some more size, whether that be to their starting lineup or off the bench. Many fans have speculated that it's going to be through free agency, signing a guy like Nicholas Claxton, who were still favorites to kind of go out there and sign this offseason, or someone else like Isaiah Hartenstein, or maybe look into the trade market, as there have been articles and rumors circling around that the Thunder could be looking into guys like Giddey and Kyle Kuzma from the Washington Wizards. However, there is a recent report that came out showing that the Thunder might be favorites to land the most coveted power forward on the market this offseason from the Utah Jazz. What up, it's Bryson Akins with another Thunder Digest video for you guys today. Before we get all this though, I want to take a moment and say, if you guys find yourself coming back on a regular basis and you're trying to find a new channel that gives you daily Oklahoma City Thunder news, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to stay up to date when a new video drops on the channel, and it's the best way to support the channel. With that out of the way, we can go ahead and get into talking about this guy who we've already talked about before on the channel. There's a video that came out not too long ago where he was included in a trade package for Colin Sexton, where we're also rumored to go get that guy from the Utah Jazz, rumored to get Colin Sexton, where we could potentially go and trade for him. However, recent reports have come out showing that the Oklahoma City Thunder are among favorites to go out there and trade for Lauri Markkenan if he does come available. And as you can see here, this is the tweet I found it by from the Doug Central, and you guys know they're a reliable source. They don't put out fake news or anything. They don't put out fake rumors and odds. These are all real. But the San Antonio Spurs are the favorites to land Lauri Markkenan if Utah decides to trade him. Spurs are at plus 600, and we are right behind them in second place at plus 850. But the Spurs getting him? Come on. I'm trying to think what the Spurs have to offer for Lauri Markkenan, and I don't think he is necessarily a part of their long-term plans either. I don't think he is. They are a rebuilding team that will probably be rebuilding for another 2 years and build up around Victor Wembanyama, and they're going to want to be as bad as possible for at least another year, so they can go get top-tier young talent to pair him with Wembanyama. If they trade for Lauri Markkenan, that puts them ahead of schedule, and it could rush the rebuild and not work out like it was supposed to, and then have them go back into another rebuild in 3 to 4 years. So that's where it's kind of at me. I was like, I don't necessarily think that the Spurs are favorites. Sure, they're a promising team that has a lot of potential in the next few years. I just think when you look at assets and capital, we have more to offer for Lauri Markkenan, and that's kind of what I'm talking about here. There was an article I found on Sports Illustrated, I believe, that talked about this, and we're going to go in and look at it, break it down piece by piece. It's not a lot. We're just going to break it down and see what they had to say about all this. The Thunder played so well in 2023-24, that's hard to identify where they could use an upgrade. However, according to a recent trade proposal by Bleacher Report's Zach Buckley, they could be going after the Utah Jazz star Lauri Markkenan. And these are exact quotes from Buckley, what he wrote in the article. Utah might realize that his time frame and Markkanen's just don't align. He is ready to compete right now. His Jazz teammates look like they might be ready 3 or 4 years from now. Between that divide and the fact that Finn needs a massive pay raise between now and next summer, both sides might be better off apart, Buckley wrote. So as you can see there, already talking about how Lauri Markkenan possibly wants out as well. And the Jazz might recognize that and be like, yeah, he wants to win right now. He's just going to do everything he can to be a competitor, and he would be unhappy here and mess up the chemistry and might put our rebuild behind schedule, so they might try to trade him away. He has 1 year left on his contract before he's going to ask for probably $35 million per year, because that is the kind of player he is, hitting his prime right now. He is a prominent four in the league. He is one of the best ones in the league at the power forward position, and he could definitely go out there and get the bag. Now, going into the article a little bit more here, if the Jazz are ready to plan for life after Markkanen, who will turn 27 on May 22nd, this is a Bleacher Report article they're quoting from a while back, he's already 27, they could add at least 3 more first-rounders to the pile, plus Giddey, whose shaky jumper is a worry, but doesn't change that he's a 21-year-old 6'8 playmaker and nightly triple-double threat, Buckley continued. With the Utah Jazz going nowhere fast, this proposal is potentially a win-win for both parties. Utah gets more youth, and Oklahoma City acquires a player that can help them get over the hump. So both sides, it's win-win, all right? It's win-win no matter what. We desperately need more size down low to help us out, rebounding defensively. And also, Lauri Markkenan is an offensive threat. He's a 3-level scorer. He can score from behind the arc, he can score from the mid-range, and he can score down low. So that helps us out with our offensive woes that we have in Giddey. But Giddey is a promising playmaker, so it sucks that this trade proposal has us giving him up. However, I think no matter what trade we propose, even if it's for Sexton, they're going to want Giddey in return no matter what. I feel like that is one where they're constantly going to try to get. And we might be thinking the same thing with Giddey that they're thinking with Lauri Markkenan. How he has one more year left, and it's unlikely we will re-sign them. So it might be best to go ahead and trade him and get something in return instead of just letting him walk. It might be one of those situations where, trading him might be the best option for us. It just might be. Going in what's left in the article here, they're talking about their offseason priorities and just talking about what happened previously when we had this big three and then let them go. The Thunder are on the cusp of creating another contender. After badly fumbling the Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kevin Durant era, now's the best time to learn from past mistakes. While a narrow second-round exit stings, OKC has a ton of draft capital, cap space, and young stars. 2023-2024 MVP finalist Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is already one of the best players in the world. Chet Holmgren is the perfect big man for this kind of squad and style of basketball, while Jalen Williams looks poised to become a two-way stud. So offseason priorities are to kind of build around what we already have in OKC. We have a big three once again, a young big three. The question is, are we going to fumble it again? And we have to learn from our past mistakes with those three where, okay, we didn't think James Harden was going to be the guy that he thought he was going to be in this big three, so we traded him away to add more size. Don't trade one of your promising guys. Don't trade one of your top 3 guys just to add some size. You can use all this draft capital that we didn't have back then, by the way. We didn't have all this draft capital back then. You can use that now to add size to your team and with this cap space that you have. We learned from that mistake, and that's why we've prepared for the future, so we can go get one of those guys with these draft picks that we have. We can constantly keep doing that every single year with a guy that's on the last year of his contract, and that we can then use in cap space to re-sign some of our guys the next year, and keep that process rolling over again and again and again, because there are a ton of draft picks I know we aren't going to use, especially in 2025, that we can use and go get Lauri Markkenan, who would help us out. And had great stats as we're bringing him up right now. Lauri Markkenan is a great player. Look at this. 23 points per game, 8 rebounds, which is what really glares out to me. 2 assists a game, half a block, a steal a game, 1.4 turnovers, less than 2 fouls per game, 48% from the field, and then just under 40% from behind the arc there. You can go ahead and round that up if you want. He's 7 foot tall. 27 years old, so he's hitting the prime of his career. We're getting him in the prime of it when he's the best he can be. And then here's some three-point stats from him that kind of stand out to me because we are a three-point shooting team. We know that. We love to shoot the three ball. We were the best three-point shooting team last year in the regular season. He shoots 43% on corner threes. 98% of his threes are assisted, so pick and pop situations, we can kind of roll with him again on that. And then 49% of all of his shots are threes. So just at half his shots are three-pointers. He's not afraid to take those shots, which when you look at Giddey is afraid to take those three-point shots. He is. Teams will leave him open back down there and just let him, kind of take these shots. And sometimes he's open and he won't even take them. We don't need that. With our guy right there that's going to be left open, we need offensive threats no matter what. And Lauri Markkenan is that offensive threat. He is. That gives us 4 guys that can score from any level on the court in our starting lineup. It makes us practically unguardable. There's quite literally nothing you can do. The only team that can match us, and I keep going back to this because the Celtics are also built the same way as us, that's the only team that could match us up with every single position on the floor. It's the only team. Even then, sometimes it's going to be tough to guard us. Even then, because you have to choose, okay, who's Tatum guarding and who is Porzingis guarding? Porzingis is probably guarding Chet, and Tatum's probably going to guard Lauri Markkenan. When you look at it, how I'm looking at it, I'm looking for the future because I see us, if we do this trade, I see us in the finals. I do. I don't see any other way around it, especially with how much we'd have left in cap space too, because it's an $18 million contract that he has there. Josh Giddey's is worth $8 million right there. They might ask for another player as well that has around $5 million. So really, we only lose $5 million in cap space, which allows us to go get another backup big. It allows us to go get Isaiah Hartenstein or Nicholas Claxton, one of those guys to come off the bench for us. I feel like it'd be Hartenstein because Claxton wants to be a starter. So I feel like it'd be better off if we get Hartenstein, who is used to being off the bench and thrives there. We'd still have space in the cap to do all this. This is why the Lauri Markkenan trade would be best for us. It sucks we have to give up Giddey. I love him to death. He has so much potential in this league. 21 years old. His IQ is off the charts when he's on the court. It's just he has so much potential. If he could just find a shot. If he could find a shot, he could be a top-tier guard in this league with how he's been progressing, how he gets triple-doubles on a nightly basis, and how he just sees the court so well. However, it's just he's not part of our big three, and we clearly want to keep our big three and build a squad around them through trades and free agency. And just clearly, Giddey doesn't fit that time frame with us anymore, so it just might be time for him to go. Unfortunately, this stuff happens. It could end up being a mistake, but we have a clear big three and we want to build around. If you have the chance to get Lauri Markkenan and still have cap space to go get someone else to come off the bench for you, you do that. You don't just hold on to all these picks that you have, too. You throw them in there. You do everything in your power to get Lauri Markkenan because he is the player that will win us a championship, not just because of him coming on the team. It gives us room to add someone else on the team. But that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Is there do you guys think there is a trade package where we could trade for Lauri Markkenan and not give up Josh Giddey? Because I personally don't think so. Let me know in the comments what it would kind of be like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.